Hi, I'm Alma Rao from our CEP 810 class. I chose for my networking project to learn how to play the violin. I wanted to learn how to play Hot Cross Buns and maybe even Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Now I should preface that with the fact that I took 5 years of piano lessons, but I can hardly read a note. So learning how to play the violin I knew was going to be a challenge. I first researched how to purchase a violin because I did not own a violin, so I had to buy my own. I went to my favorite spot, Amazon, and I looked at the various violins and I read the reviews. While I was waiting for my violin to arrive, I researched online some of the beginning tips. I didn't know the first thing about a violin. I didn't know where the pieces were, and I didn't know how to hold it or anything like that. So I watched YouTube. So I felt I was kind of ready when my violin arrived. However, I was rather shocked when my violin arrived. It was needed assembly. The bridge was not on it, and the strings were just laying. They were taut, but not ready to play. So the first thing I had to do was take a look at the directions that came with the violin, and they were these chintzy little directions, and I realized that was not going to get me through stringing my violin properly. So I went online, again on YouTube, and I had settled on a particular channel by Allison Sparrow, who has many beginning tips that I enjoyed and certainly were very helpful. And she showed, as well as others, how to properly set your bridge. My next challenge was learning how to tune it. Now I had found an online tuner ahead of time, a web-based one, but that didn't seem to help me very much. Many sites recommended buying an electronic tuner, so I went back to Amazon, looked around, and found an electronic tuner, again, just about $8, and it certainly has saved me some time. It just uses the vibrations, or it will use the frequency to tell you what your keys should be. Once I did that, I got out my bow and I strung it across my strings, and I can tell you it sounded horrible, and I realized, oh my gosh, that's right. One of the earlier video tubes I had said you need to learn how to rosin your bow. And it did. My kit did come with rosin, and I looked on the web, again, Allison's site as well as others, and I went to a help forum or two and found out how to rosin my bow. The next thing I needed to learn how to do was, again, get it ready, hold it, and how to hold the bow and how to hold it in my hand, and then make sure I'm in tune. Now, I did start playing a few things, and the next thing you know, I'm playing and I break a string. And I'm in the middle of trying to was getting the hang of it. I was very discouraged, so I went right back to YouTube, found out how to string my bow. Fortunately, my kit did come with some spare strings, and I had to actually string 2 that evening, and I got it strung and retuned it again. And now for my rendition of Hot Cross Buns. And now for my rendition of the beginning of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That's all I've got. I got to keep working. You might ask, what are my next steps? Well, I certainly want to continue to practice. I clearly have to practice. Get better music. I've got certainly free music. I'm hoping I can get beyond using my chart that shows the fingering. I hope to get to do that myself, and I hope to certainly get beyond having to put letters over my notes so that I can play them without just looking at the notes. But for now, this will do it so I can get myself going. I certainly think this was an interesting way to learn how to do something. Would I use it again? Sure, I use it all the time. I go to YouTube all the time when I'm stuck for doing something. Now, I will share that I certainly look for professional help when I'm going to do something that's a big investment, such as I'm dying to resurface my garage floor. I certainly will go out and look on YouTube to get myself started, but I'm probably going to seek professional help to get that done and make sure I know what I'm doing correctly. Again, I think all the things out on the web are a great way to learn how to do things yourself. The fact that they're anytime, anywhere, such as when my string broke, is absolutely fantastic. The downside is I can't always tell when I'm doing something right, and it would certainly be great to know that I'm doing something right. The sound alone will help, but other times it would be great to be able to know that I'm holding the fingering right, that I'm not getting this note by chance. Thank you for listening, and wish me luck.